Things off. In progress. Progress.
Alrighty, are we ready to get started?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Chantal.
Yeah, I've got a reverb or echo.
Is the TV on?
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Chantal, say something.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm doing from this one. All right, we're ready.
All right, everyone. Thank you all for joining today. We have Miss Chantal Froelich with Fidelity National Title. She will be going over how to nurture your leads in real estate. So without further ado, let me give you sharing capabilities.
Thank you.
There you go. And you have the floor, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. So when I talked to Shay and asked her what she wanted me to talk to y'all about, she said that y'all are still working on nurturing leads. I don't know, I know Laverne and Margaret were here last time, and when I talked about the rehydration maintenance system, which is truly is key to that. So we're going to expound on that a bit. But I did get permission from Michael to have a little bit of tough love.
Sure did.
So, but I do want to talk about that, because I know I have taught the rehydration maintenance system several times. And I know a lot of y'all are brand new, so you haven't seen this yet, but, and this is kind of a heads up for y'all. And I want y'all to know, just, yes, I'm here because I work for Fidelity National Title, and that is how I get paid. That's my day job. But I also a broker. I've held a license for over 20 years. I was an active agent for over 10 before I was recruited to title, which was only supposed to be for 4 years, and over 12 years later, I'm still here. Because I do love what I do. I do love what I do, and it makes my reach exponential. I can help more people than I ever could when I was just, an agent practicing on me. Now, the way I look at what we do and how I help agents is what would have been important to me what would have helped me when I was an agent. And so that's what I look at. One of the things that I see, everywhere, I don't care how long you've been in the business, I don't care how, what brokerage they're with, I see across the board is we all have the intent to do these things and it never happens. And I think I truly do, I've come to the realization that because of its lack of structure and accountability, real estate attracts people that need it the most. And that is, and I can say that because I am the poster child of all of that. It is, I always thought my ADD was my superpower, and I still, to a certain extent, think it is, but it just highlights the need to have that structure in your life and the follow through and the accountability. That's the word that everybody hates. And this, I'm putting myself in a dangerous situation. I want y'all to close with me. I want you to like me. And it's one of those things you're like, oh crap, there she is. I didn't do what I said I was gonna do. I don't want to talk to her. I'm gonna avoid her, and you hide. So this is a major risk, for me on that side of it. So I do have to ask, why are you doing this? How long, I know you got a couple of people that are just getting your licenses, right? But when you have had a license for a while and you think about it, it's like, okay, right, why am I doing this? and then people always tell you, you know, you know, you gotta know your why, you gotta know your why, and you should be able to say that, you know, instantly. For some of us, it's like, you know, you gotta think, it's like, well, let me think about my whys. I got lots of them. Let's see which one is the biggest why, whatever. But if you need help, I can tell you why. You need to pay your freaking bills. Why?
We can't hear.
I can't hear you either.
We can't hear. One second, you all.
Okay, Shay, can you hear me? Hold on.
Yes, now I can hear you, Chantal.
You can hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So, what was the last thing you heard? Besides
Why
me?
are you doing this?
Yeah, why are you doing this? So the point is, yes, this is to make a living, you know. I mean, I see, this is what I see here. This is what I see right here. So I'm good. Okay. So, anyway, you know, and this is, you know, I know this sounds harsh. It is kind of harsh, and I do apologize. But then again, I've never watched Medea before, and I caught a little bit of one this week, and I'm like, holy crap, I've turned into Medea. I'm like, basically, I'm this far from standing in the middle of my yard yelling at kids, going, "What's wrong with you?" So, so you'll have to forgive me. That's the privilege that comes. Ooh, nice 80s show. Yeah. I love the mullet. Mullet cracks me up. But yeah, it's the privilege that comes with age, is all I'm saying. It's like, and part of me is, you know, I don't want to be that person and be like, you know, you kid, blah, blah, blah. But I'm also smart enough. We're gonna talk about how smart I am.
You're muted again. We can't hear.
All right, say something.
Hello?
Can y'all hear?
Yes.
Is it?
There you go. You good.
So, here's the thing, and I get that we all want to do our own thing, but man, do not reinvent the wheel. You know, have the presence of mind to learn from someone else's mistakes, and that it will save you so much time. You know, just it's you know, and it's not to say that, you know, how it's always been done is always the right way or the only way, but just be discerning in what you're gonna reinvent and what you're not, you know, what works, what doesn't. So, there's times where I've come in and I've taught time management, and I've taught the rehydration maintenance system, and you know, and I teach, you know, I was just talking to Michael for y'all that are new. I will teach you how to read a commitment, a survey, a closing disclosure. It's all of those things that are essential to you being a real estate professional. And the part, I literally just want to like fire hose y'all and be like, because it all fits together. It is part and parcel of one. You can't do one without the other. And so when I'm talking about what is your why, it is to bring home that don't just go through the motions and check off a box without there being purpose and intent. Because if without that, you're just gonna hold an open house, you're gonna call somebody every now and then, you're gonna do this. You're never gonna get to closing, which means that's when you get paid. Just like me, it's like, I don't get paid if y'all don't close at my office, you know, or one of my offices, but it's the same thing. Y'all are gonna get paid, or not gonna get paid unless you're actually, you know, closing the deal, closing the deal. So, I just want to make sure that with all the things that you're learning, because I get it, especially for, you know, when y'all are new, you are being fire hosed. It is so much information all at one time. And I mean, like literally, you can just sit there and nose glaze open, like, oh my God, my brain can't even hold anything else. My recommendation is take notes and put them where you will find them, right? And put a key, you know, put them in a file, put a keyword so that when you're searching for it, it's like whatever that, when you think about it, whatever the first word is that pops into your head, use that as your keyword or your heading, because when you're looking for it again, it's gonna be that same word that pops into your head. Don't overcomplicate it. So just again, take notes. For y'all that are about to take your test, the best advice that I ever got when I first started going to real estate school in 2002, this guy, one of the instructors, like, make your own flashcards. The best advice I'd ever get. I'm like, why didn't someone tell me this when I was in high school and college? That would have been helped me so much. But it made it extremely efficient to identify what you have down pat and what you need to work on. And it just makes you more efficient with your time. You've heard me say before, that is your most valuable commodity. And I'm trying to get people to understand to spend your time as wisely as you spend your money. Because the thing with time is I can always make more money. I cannot make more time. And so that will lead into the time management part of things, which we can get into on another day. You have to make sure when you're spending time on real estate, that you're actually spending time on real estate. We tell each other, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so busy. Well, like, yeah, everybody's busy, but were you actually productive? There's two different things. And so we can talk about that as well. What we're going to talk about, I was explaining this to my husband. He's not in the industry, but even in his industry, this applies to anybody. You have a marketing sandwich. You know, a lot of y'all we talk about this, there's 3 layers to it. Your first layer is your industry centric. It's everything about what you do. This is your website. This is your business Facebook page. This is your newsletters, your email campaign drips. It is everything. Your mailers that go out, the emails that go out, everything that says, I'm in real estate. I'm amazing at what I do. I'm never too busy for your referrals. It is all of that. That's the top slice of bread. The bottom slice of bread is the personal touches that you make. This is not where you ask for business. This is where you're maintaining that personal relationship with those in your sphere. The reason why you're not asking for business in this part, if the only time I called you was to ask for something, how many times did you take the call?
Maybe the first time and
Maybe after the second time, you're like, I'm done. But think about it, it's the same thing. If the only time you're calling people in your sphere, be like, hey, so just checking in. Anybody that's gonna buy a house? Like, oh my God, yes, you really love me, care about me, and that's, yeah. And so, but you have to think about it that way. And so the middle of that sandwich is a blend of the two. Those are your socials. That's your personal Facebook page. It is your Instagram, Snapchat, whatever it is the kids are using these days. That's a blend of those two things. Now, keep in mind, there's actually a percentage breakup. It is 70% personal, 25% work, 5% community. And one of the issues that I see with a lot of agents that all they post on their personal page is an open house or this is coming on the market, whether it's theirs or not. I mean, that's that, I love that. It's like, look at this great house that came on the market. I'm happy to show it to you. It's not there this time. You know, which is fine, which is fine. But if that's all you ever post, oh my God, I look at stuff from some agents, I'm like, oh, I'm just pictures of your food. That's how bad this is. That's how bad this is. So the reason it's important that 70% of it be personal, this is how people that there's only so much time in a day, a week, a month, a year. You cannot be constantly in front of everybody in your sphere, personally and physically, the way you can be on social media. This is how people stay connected to you. This is how they feel they know you. I make the example of like, I don't know, television stars, like, because I'm old, I'm gonna use Friends. There was the guy that played Joey. You know, imagine him walking down the street, and because people have seen him on their TV every week, well, now streaming every day if they want to, syndication. People are just like, oh my God, I love you so much. And he's just like, who the hell are you? I have no idea who you are. But that person feels like they know him. It's the same phenomena on Facebook. It is because they see you every day, and it doesn't, you know, it does not have to be, you know, rocket science. Always lead with humor, leave religion, leave politics alone, leave all that out of it.
You say lead with humor?
Lead with humor. I would, you know, because it's, you know, people enjoy that. It is the most healing energy in this world for your body. And people, you know, what Maya Angelou says, people, you know, they react to how you make them, how you make them feel. That's what they remember. You know, won't remember what you say or what you do. They remember how you make them feel. And if you make people feel good, whether it's, and I'm not saying just because you compliment them, just because you've got good energy to be around. I have friends like that where I don't see them very often, but when I do, I realize when I'm driving away, I'm like smiling. I feel like I'm glowing in my car by myself because he just makes you feel good. So, again, that 70%, that's how they're seeing you in your life. Like I said, it could be observational humor. It could be, you know, oh, it's the best thing today, actually. And I actually took a picture of it and I put it on my social thing. That I have to share this with y'all. It was freaking awesome. And I'm going to make it a thing somehow, some way. Okay, it was a Jeep, and I do drive a Jeep, which I love, but look what the license plate is.
Gold digger.
Gold digger, not gold digger, gold digger. I'm like, oh, I love this. I love this. We need to make this a thing. Who wants to be a gold digger with me? I'm all in on this. But I thought that was just amazing and brilliant and inspirational. So, anyway, sorry. It's like, oh, look, a bird. It's definitely my cross to bear. So it is important, and you know, and I teach this stuff, and I'm not good at it because in my business does not come from Facebook. If I was still in real estate, my business would absolutely be coming from Facebook. This is your Facebook is your sphere. That's your sphere of influence. I'm sure you've all heard talk about that. Now, one of the things I tell people, there's two different schools of thought. There's a school of all my business is repeat and referral business, which I am of that school, 100%, 100%. These are the people that already know you, love you, and trust you. These are people that are golden for referrals. That's how I built my book of business. You have the other school of thought, and it's not to say that either one's right or wrong, that is no referral business. They buy leads. It's basically business goes out, it goes in this door and it goes out that door. And they just build in the cost of buying those leads into their business model. Not to say either one is right or wrong. What we're talking about is not that model. We're talking about the model that is referral based, repeat and referral based. A couple of books. Actually, these are two of them. You'll see these. Raving Fans and Go Giver. There is one called Mr. Schmooze, which pretty much says the same thing. But oh my God, it was so hard to read, because this guy was just like, no offense to the men in the room, but it was so much. It was like, we're gonna play golf and tackle each other, and there's cigars, and like, I'm just, and I'm over here going, oh my God, shoot me down. But the gist was the same. The gist was the same. Again, it goes back to how you make people feel. Raving fans, super short read. It's the same thing. It's about how you greet people. And it's the same thing throughout all of these books. It all comes in how you make people feel. And in Mr. Schmooze, it wasn't just about how he made his clients feel. It was also how he made the waiter feel, the busboy, the valet guy, the hostess, you know, the secretary, that and those people truly are the gatekeepers. And they are the ones that are some of the greatest sources for referrals. You know, you're nice to the receptionist or the hygienist, and you get referred to the dentist. You know, you know, that everybody's money is there and is important, and their needs are important. But if you're wanting to cultivate that a higher end, you know, you need to make sure that you have that in mind. You know, you basically always tell people, start with the end in mind. If you want to end up here, identify what are the steps I need to get to that, and then execute those steps. So, and when, I mean, y'all have all done your business plans for this year. As y'all who are new coming in, you're going to want to develop your business plans for that. And again, it's always going to be starting with the end in mind, and you'll break it down, you know, truly by quarter, by month, by date, by week, and by day. So, let's see, where was I? So on the raving fans, it is also stalking. People think stalking is a bad word. Oh my God, we love stalking. That is one of my superpowers. There ain't nothing I can't find. But it is making sure that, you know, before you call somebody, take a look at their Facebook page, see what's going on in their life. So you just at least you're not going in completely cold and not understanding something, you know, something great just happened in their life, or maybe something not so great, you know, so you don't want something really bad happen in their life and you're going like, hey, oh my God. So you want to have that presence of mind. What the rehydration maintenance system does not replace your CRM. It is used in conjunction with that. Now, your CRM, it is freaking gold. That is your brain. In the morning, you young folks, it gets, you know, you're not gonna be able to remember everything, and it's only gonna get worse as you get older. You're going to want, and this is probably some of the most difficult parts of just, you know, organizing your business. You want to make sure you've got a good foundation to build upon. This is a part that sucks the most. It is the tedious having to go in and, okay, now I'm putting on my people and blah, blah, blah. My strongest recommendation is that you actually do this all in an Excel spreadsheet. So all you're doing is doing it once, and then you can upload it to whatever system that you want to do it in. Is everything okay?
The battery.
Oh,
It's not- it's not-
I think it's the black one.
Oh, the black one? Look.
Yeah.
It's plugged in. Okay.
Yeah, it's charging.
Oh, it's charging now?
Yeah.
So it must not have been tight under here then.
It's spotty, like it might be loose.
Is there, can we plug it up
It's
here?
out again.
Can we plug it up here?
Well, they're doing that. Does anybody have any questions so far, or like anything?
Oh.
It's very interesting about talking about it. It's very interesting, I think. Everything you
I
just
do. What
said.
would be the top bun for the sandwich? I didn't get that part.
So the top bun is the industry centric. It is everything that is, like your professional website, your business Facebook page, your email drip campaigns, your newsletters, your mailers that are going out, whatever it is. The biggest thing that I would tell y'all across the board, consistency. You know, pick a lane. See it. And the reason I say that is, and it doesn't mean to say that you cannot layer things, but pick one thing, master it, have it to where it runs like clockwork, and then layer the next thing on. Master it where it goes like clockwork, and that's how you build your business. You're gonna do that. So and that's one of the problems with especially when you're brand new, and even I'm telling you, want to know who the easiest person to sell to is? A salesperson. That is absolutely true, because we're all go, ooh, look at that, that's silver bullet. Ooh, this is gonna work great. Ooh, we can do that, we can do that. It's and that is a fact. And so we all, whether you're new or seasoned, we get stuff thrown at us all the time, and it's hard to resist, because especially for me, it's like I am, oh, look, a bird, and I have to be very disciplined on focus. Be focused and with purpose. So, so you got that part?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And stop me at any point in time that you have a question. Just let me know. So, on your CRM, people have asked me tons of times, what's the best CRM to use? The best CRM to use is the one that you'll actually use. Don't feel that you have to go spend a lot of money and for bells and whistles. Start simple. And the key is in this, like I was saying, the hardest part is just the data entry part. You're going to want to put this into an Excel spreadsheet. That way you have a master Excel, and you can put it into whatever system that you want to put it into. Like anything. So one of the things that it's not just, people think it's just a name, a phone number, email, an address, that kind of thing. You need to put notes in about what you know about that person, whether it's something that you've seen, that they posted on Facebook, you're just not going to remember. One of the things that when we get into the project, I'll tell you, but I had an agent when we were talking about this, she's like, oh my God, yes. And it's when you're talking to someone, they're telling you something, put those notes into your CRM. Because she called one of her old friends. She's like, hey, how's your mom doing? And her friend, she said, she was very disgusted, sounded very disgusted. She's like, Lauren, I told you the last time that you called that she passed away. And Lauren, she was like, I was horrified. She goes, I just didn't remember. And I'm like, I get it. Lauren's got 2 little kids and she's running around like crazy. It's like, your brain can't hold it all. But if you put it in there, so whatever anybody tells you, you're putting it in there. You're also, if you're telling them about a life event that's going on in your life, I would put in there that I told them that too. Because that way, the next time you're talking to them, you're not repeating yourself and coming off as disingenuous. Fortunately, I've reached the age where it's like, I can say now, like my mother is like, oh, please tell me if I've told you this before. It's not like, my kids are like, Mom, you heard the stories. So you do too much and talk to too many people to remember everything. It's just not possible. So, let's see, let me do a share. Let me pull this up first. So how many of y'all, and I know I've talked to y'all about this before, but how many of y'all have actually compiled your sphere of influence? You know how many people that you have?
Hey, Chantal,
Yes, ma'am?
are you sharing your screen?
Yeah. Not yet. Not yet. I
Okay.
haven't shared it yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull it up while they're. If you had to guess. If you had to guess, how many people do you think would be? Well, anyway, don't even worry about it. put a list together of your sphere. These are your friends, your families. For anyone else, for someone else that if they were, if they're already a practicing agent, it would also be your past clients. And the reason I add your past clients to this is because there is no way you are working with someone for 2 or 3 months and not becoming friends, not, you know, becoming an intimate part of their world, because they're telling you everything they want, they need, their dreams, what they hope for, what they wish for when they're buying a house. So let me see here. Now I'm gonna do a screen share. Okay, so you're gonna take your sphere and you're going, so let me back up a little bit. So my coach actually was teaching us, you know, this and how to teach agents. And you have to understand, and y'all don't know me, my friends who know me, they know I will mother you to death if you let me. This is your warning now, just so you know, this is your warning. But I am the, oh my God, I love you, and it's just like, let me mother you, let me take care of you, you need a sandwich, you need a jacket, whatever. It's that. When Coach Lisa sent this, even I was just like, meh, no, this just is way too canned. So the whole idea was you're gonna send an email to everybody on your sphere that says, the subject line is happy birthday. And the content says, well, not just yet, but I was noticing, I was looking at my birthday book and I don't have your special day there, you know, please send me your month and dates. I would like to do something when that day comes. I'm like, that just smacks of a campaign. Like, there's nothing genuine or authentic about that. And I'm like, I'm not teaching that. I'm like, and then I thought about it, and I'm like, okay. People spend a lot of money paying doctors, lawyers, therapists for advice and then don't take it. And we're paying a lot of money to this coach. I'm like, I can't just dismiss it out of hand. I gotta try to work with this. So I actually took a story that actually happened in my life when I was an agent. The bartender that worked for a friend of mine, and his name was Fred. Fred was an older gentleman. He never got married. He was the original curmudgeon, so no surprise that he never got married. He'd been renting in a garage apartment for 15 years. The only reason he was moving was because it was falling down. And the garage was literally leaning. This was back 2006, so rent for a garage apartment was about $600. And he stopped me one afternoon and he's like, I just want to apologize that you're having to waste your time with me because I know this is not a lot of money for you. And it just killed me. I mean, Fred's passed away since then. You know, he was his picture's still in my lawn room, you know, of a picture of him outside of Cecil's over on Gray. But I'm like, Fred, I love you. It's like, if I wasn't helping you find a place, I wouldn't get to hang out with you. And it really did resonate with me then. Did I do anything about it? No. I mean, life is busy and you're working and you just keep going. You're just like, you notice, but then you don't do anything about it. So I took that story and I put it into this email. I'm gonna give this to y'all. It is my story. You're welcome to use it. You can tweak it if you want. But the whole purpose of this is I needed to turn this from being just some canned. No, that's Lisa. But it needed to be sincere for me. And that's the key part about that other bun, you know, that sandwich where it's the authentic, the personal part, it needs to be authentic. It needs to be personal. You know, if the moment someone feels like they're being sold, you're done. You're done. And I tell people, it's like, even if you won the lottery and you never had to do real estate or want to do real estate again, you do this, you're going to have a better quality life because you're going to stay engaged with the people that really do matter to you. So this tells the recipient two things. It tells them, because I put it in here and I put on here, it says, I've realized that if I'm not working with my friends, I don't get to keep up with my friends. So I'm making it a personal high priority goal to connect and stay connected with my friends and family to create truly good and genuine balance in my life. That should resonate with everybody. If it doesn't, they're dead inside. You don't want to work with them anyway.
You don't want that.
You don't want that anyway. But it tells them in a very genuine, authentic way why you're reaching out, because one of the hardest parts about calling your sphere is like people gravitate to like maybe 5%. The rest of them are like, oh, I haven't talked to them in 2 years. Oh, okay, later, and you kind of push it away. Later never happens. So this gets rid of that weird, awkward, so how's it going? And they're like, do I owe you money? Do you owe me money? Like, why are you calling? So it's telling them why, in a very authentic, genuine way. And it's giving them a heads up that you're gonna keep talking to them. You're gonna stay in contact. I gotta tell you, Facebook, Instagram, that's not a relationship. So, and to drive it home, if we went, I don't care, whatever restaurants near here, and you asked everybody in there, how many of your friends and family have a license? They're all like 5, 7. I mean, literally everybody has a license. That's one of the problems you'll find is like, oh yeah, it's like they went with their sister-in-law's brother because he has a license.
Right,
Everybody.
yeah.
So here's the thing. Of all the people that they already know that has a license, who are they gonna send their business and their referrals to? Not to the person that the only time they interact with them is when that person likes their post on Facebook. They're gonna send it to the person who's the most engaged in their ambient environment on a regular basis. Okay. Now, I mean, there are gonna be some people in your sphere that you're like, this person's a drama queen, you do not want it to, and like, you know what? Then don't, I do not believe in inviting bad energy into your life. I do not believe in that. Take them off the list. That's perfectly fine. And I say, and I'm prefacing what I'm saying that first, because to tell you this. You don't talk to these people because you don't, it's not because you don't like them. It's your life changes. When you're in your early 20s, like, the people that you hang out with and see all the time are people like either from school or from work, your job changes and that changes over here. You have now it's these work people, you get into a relationship and it's that person's friends or, your ambient environment changes. You start having kids, now all your friends are the other kids' parents. And so it just, life cycles that way. And you still really like those people. And I can prove it because whenever you run into them at the grocery store, you're like, oh, it's so great to see you. Oh my God, I can't believe we let all this time go by. We're not gonna let that happen again until 5 years later. So that's where the magic of this happens. So I'm getting ahead of myself. So you're gonna send, go ahead.
Can I add something? So, funny story. So, one of my best friends, he was actually my best man at my wedding. But like you said, went from being single to we both ended up having family. Now we got kids. So every time I try to, like, we've had events and I'm inviting him, he can't, like, he never comes. We're not able to talk. We're not able to answer the phone. Any of that stuff. Even with his wife, like, we're always inviting him. They're never coming. So then my wife texted me yesterday. So he's a leap year baby. So his birthday is coming along tonight. So he's celebrating his 11th.
That's awesome.
It was cool because the invitation had like a transformer on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
44.
But
when I saw it, just like to your point, when I saw it, I was like, well, I know he's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Right. So I got excited, like the opportunity to reconnect and just be in the same place. Cause I'm not taking it personally that he's not available or we can't connect because I know he got the kids and I
life.
get it.
Life
It's
is
life.
busy.
It's life, yeah. But those relationships, like those moments, those magical moments, you do want to take advantage of.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And again, not just for business, you'll have a better quality life.
Oh, and we sold my house.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, but it all fits. People want to work with people that are not only the top in their field, but people that they truly genuinely like. That's huge. And that's one of the things that, to be your true authentic self is so important. It's so important. People can spot fake a freaking mile away.
Right.
I mean, you can smell it before you even see it. And so that is very, very important. Now, when you send, you said you're gonna send this email out to everybody. Okay, now for the people that respond to you, you're going to call them. And you're gonna say, and again, you're gonna have your CRM up, but you're gonna say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for, got your email, thank you so much for, for responding. And as I'm reading your email, I'm realizing, holy cow, it's been 2 years, whatever it is, whatever amount of time it is. How are you? Like, how's it going? And so, and this is the rehydration conversation. Whatever they're telling you, you're gonna just make sure they don't hear this while you're doing it. But you're going to take note of what they're telling you, okay? Now, that conversation is gonna very naturally go to, they're gonna ask you, so how's real estate? I'm telling you, resist. This is not the time to do your elevator speech. This is not you answer positively and briefly. It's great, love my job, whatever it is that you want to say, but immediately turn around and ask them, how's work for you? That is a hard thing to resist, because that is the moment when they realize, this is what this is about. This is why they're really reaching out. You just have to be careful to resist. And to tell you the truth, nobody cares what we do. What did Dale Carnegie say? The most magical sound to anybody's ears is the sound of their own name. But and I think people took that too literally, because I've had people where they'll start talking to me, and then they'll start talking, and they're like, and blah blah blah, Chantal, blah blah blah, Chantal, and I'm like, oh my God, seriously, dude. Like, anyway, I'm not saying to be repeating their name to them over and over again. What is most important is that you're interested in them. And that's another, I think, Dale Carnegie, you don't have to be interesting. You just have to be interested. I actually told my son in dating advice, because he was talking about this girl, and I'm like, let her talk. Just let her talk, which is great because you don't like to talk. So again, resist if they ask you about work, ask them about their work. Okay. For the people that did not respond, you're going to call them and you're like, hey, how's it going? Just wanted to make sure you got my email. This is really important to me. And then it's the same thing. And as I'm telling this to you, I realize, holy crap, I haven't talked to you in 8 months or whatever it is. How's it going? Blah, 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 blah. Same thing. Okay. So that's going out. Now, in that email, you did say, please send me your birthday. So you actually have to do that. This is going to cost you like $2 to get the binder, another $3 to get the tabs. And I'm going to send you a template to where you're even going to have like the lines like this. You're going to put everybody's name in this. Now, on your calendar, the 3rd week of every month, you're going to time block birthday cards. Okay, birthday card campaign. Now, this is where we're going to bleed a little bit into time management and organization. You have to make sure, buy your cards online. That way you're paying $1.69 for a card instead of, no, not virtual. No, this is handwritten. No, order your cards online. And these are not business cards, like where it's like pre-printed with your name. I mean, like, again, buy the funniest card you can find. If you're buying them in bulk, you're paying only $1.69 as opposed to paying $6, $7 at Walgreens. Make sure you have real stamps. This is going to be hand addressed. Don't fall for the, we make it look like your handwriting. You can tell it doesn't. This is about being your authentic self. So on that 3rd week, and my whole purpose of saying, make sure you're ordering the cards, because that's going to pop up on your calendar. You're going to be like, oh crap, I don't have any cards. Oh, I need to buy stamps. I'll get it later. Later never happens. You want to make sure that you have this stuff on hand. It's just like being prepared and having a listing presentation already set and done to where all you're doing is inserting your comps. It's the same premise. You need to structure your life like that. The solution to any problem is either a person or a process. Just remember that. So you're going to, on that 3rd week, so like, let's see, I've got some samples in here. It's February, so 3rd week of February, I'm going to look at March. And I'm gonna see all these people. I'm gonna write all the cards for everyone in that month. This is the following month. You can bunch them together. You can bunch them together. So these are gonna go out on the first week. These are gonna go out the second week. You just wanna make sure that they're getting it like a few days early. So you've already got your stamps, get that done. The thing with this is nobody gets real mail anymore. Nobody gets a birthday card in the mail anymore. You're going to stand out on that. You're not gonna be buried with the other 150 people that are wishing them happy birthday on Facebook. Okay, if there's someone that's really good for referrals, you can pop in, you know, a $5 gift card to Starbucks. And I would make a note on there, you know, this is me buying you a birthday cake pop. And the reason I say that is I never thought anyone could think something bad about getting a $5 gift card. And I actually had someone in my office and he was livid that this mortgage broker that he referred business to sent him a $5 gift card just to say thanks. I'm like, my thought was, you are a small, bitter little man. But so I'm like, well, apparently that's a thing. So that's when I thought, you know, because I don't want you going broke sending out a birthday card. That's not the point here. And you can't just willy-nilly just be sending it out everybody, because you will go broke doing that as you're filling up your book. But just, you know, if it's someone that's particularly special, you can do that, or don't put anything in it at all. Just say, you know, let's get together. You can put that, you know, let's get together for, you know, for whatever. Okay, so, don't forget, you said you're gonna do a birthday card. You are gonna do this. Couple things on timing. You want to make sure you set yourself a deadline for your rehydration part. Because otherwise, if you don't, you'll start here. By the time you end, it'll be a year later, and the first person you called, you're now in the same boat. Okay, so you want to give yourself 2 to 3 weeks max. Understand that some of these conversations are going to be 10 minutes, some are going to be 20. You know, it's just, you just kind of watch yourself a little bit. Also, and you've got to be truthful with yourself. You can lie to me, you can lie to Michael, just don't lie to yourself.
Don't lie to me.
Just don't lie to yourself. That's even worse. Do not start this unless you are committed to actually doing it for freaking ever. Because you cannot do this, then drop off the face of the, you know, do it for 6 months, drop off the face of the earth and show up a year later, be like, oh, you know, authentic. Yeah, no, that's disingenuous. But don't worry, I got a system that will not allow that to happen. So you will segue into, let's see here. Let me get back to this. Come on. Hold on. Now, you're gonna take your entire, so say you've got 125 people in your sphere. You're gonna take that and actually divide it into 5 sections. So you'll have 25 people, and it doesn't, not in a particular order, 25 people in 5 different sections. Each section is a different type of touch. So you've got, you can do, I'm sharing it, sorry. You can do, one's going to be an email, one's going to be a text, one's going to be Facebook private message, one's going to be a phone call, one's going to be what she called Kim. It means keep in mind, just Kim card, but it can be a video, it can be a video message, it could be a get together, it could be whatever you want, a pop by, whatever you want. Be as creative as you want to be. The magic in this is, and I'm gonna stop sharing so y'all can see this. This is the true. So, like, say this is, you know, this first section is an email. And this is your list. you're gonna, okay, this is the funny part. I don't know if you remember this. So when Lisa was first coaching and, teaching her, she's like, they're gonna do 5 people in each section. I'm like, that's 25 people. I don't know a single agent that's gonna do that in one prospecting session. Because when you're prospecting, you need to do the same number of people in every section. So baby steps. If you want to start with 1, that means you're touching 5 people during your prospecting, fine. 2, that means you're touching 10. On and on and on. So the key is that, so I called John Smith I emailed John Smith on this one. And then I go to the next one, which is a text, and then I am texting Jane Jones, whatever it is, and so on and so on. So you are finishing every section at the same time. That's why it's imperative that you're doing 2 people, in the first section, you do it all the way across. You cannot do sections 1 and 2 on Monday and say, oh, I'm going to come back and do 3, 4, and 5 on Thursday. It won't happen, I promise you. Because it's just, that's how life is. So you're going to finish each section, you keep going down, like every time you prospect, and when you're finished, you've gone through everybody, then it rotates. So the people that were in the back section rotate to the front and everybody moves down. The magic is that when I emailed, John Smith, the next time I reach out to him, which is probably maybe, hopefully 3, you really don't want it to be more than 4 weeks. 3 weeks later, the next time I reach out to him, it's a text. And then I go through everything, and the next time I reach out to him, it's a phone call. And the key is that it's systematic for you as the sender, but it is not predictable for them. Why is that important? Y'all, who here knows core training? You know core. Okay.
Yeah, I know, cool.
They're the Nazis of prospecting.
They are.
They, like, seriously. And I remember, and it was a guy was a professional friend of mine, and super nice guy, good at his job, totally believed in the core, taught it, lived it, breathed it, ate it, slept it, the whole thing. And so he's teaching in my, I provided the room and, did my little spiel in the beginning. And so I'm sitting in the back, working on my laptop and I'm listening. So I'm always like, ooh, someone's got someone that can teach me something new. I always want that. And I'm listening to him and he's talking, they're extremely regimented, which is not a bad thing. Structure is your friend, but he was saying, like, my whole office knows Tuesday afternoons, I'm making my calls, don't disturb me. This is what I'm doing. Okay. And then I remember him saying, and it's okay if you get voicemail, you still made your touch. And I literally remember sitting in the back going, I don't want a relationship with voicemail. Not my class. Let's sit back and be quiet. A few weeks later, I'm at a brokerage, I'm leaving and an agent's walking in. Oh, hey, how's it going? And we're kind of catching up in the lobby. And her phone rings. And she looks at it and I can see it's this guy. And she literally did this. He's a lender. She's like, oh my God. It's Tuesday at 3:30. I'm not exaggerating. And it's Mike with his update. It was so harsh and so awful. And she looks at it, she's like, I don't even answer it anymore. And I felt so bad because Mike is a really nice guy. And all I could think of is like, it is so predictable that it is no longer seen as useful or even entertaining. And that's why he said, it's okay if you get the voicemail, because that's all he's gonna get. And I'm like, if he only knew, So you don't want to be, oh my God, it's Chantal, and it's 2:30 on the Tuesday, and she's calling for her, because she was literally in that list, and her time, the time slot that she always fell in was 3:30 on Wednesday. So that's what makes it so huge for this, that it keeps you on track, so no one ever falls through the cracks again. You don't have to say, oh my God, I haven't talked to this person in 2 years, or 6 months or whatever. It keeps you on track. Now, there can be overlay, which works out really, really well. So say some people in your sphere they're friends from, I don't know, girlfriends that used to get together, like you lived in, lived in the same apartment complex or whatever, but y'all have all moved on and, or, kids are grown or whatever. You can talk to them and say, hey, I haven't seen, Anne or Mary either. We should all get together and plan ahead in advance. That would actually fall under your kin touch as well. So your keep in mind touch. I highly advocate having a lot of those small get-togethers with people that from, from other parts of your life. Here's why. See, a lot of people, they'll do, customer appreciation events, right? It's a lot of them. And think about a wedding when you see the bride and the groom, and when they're going around to their guests, they're literally spending 30 or 45 seconds with each guest. And they go to the next, and they go to the next, and they go to the next. And I get it. You got a ton of people to talk to. I'm not going to get a real substantive, interaction with you. And it's okay. It's your wedding. Go have fun. But if you're going to spend that kind of money on an event, you're the bride or the groom. You're talking to this one for a few seconds. You're talking to that one. And a smaller group is more intimate. You're going to get a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Retention, rapport, they're just a solid interaction, not like, hey, how's it going? And then you run off. It's not to say to not do that every now and then. I'm just saying, don't depend on that that's where I'm connecting with my people, because you're not connecting. You threw a party, you bought a bunch of drinks, and everybody went home. And you're like, what happened? Who did I actually talk to? So, and also the key thing is when it's just friends getting together, it's not on your dime. It's not a real estate event. You've got 3 or 4 friends that are getting together. Everyone's, they're covering their own tab, which it should be. You should not be somebody's ATM machine just because you're in real estate. Just remember that. And so, so if you're getting together with them, because you're old friends, why would I be buying you stuff? Is it your birthday?
Right.
So, anyway, keep that in mind. What else? Any questions? How are we in time?
We good.
Any,
This box till 2 o'clock.
oh, perfect. So what do y'all think so far?
Give us the feedback.
Cause that spirit is like, what he had us working on, like the top 50, like kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, you're top 50, yeah.
So top 50 is like the creme de la creme. Like
Yeah. Yeah. This, and again, when we're talking about layers, that would also, that's a layer, so you would identify those top 50 with maybe an asterisk, something that if you're doing something extra special for them, absolutely. But this is about making sure that everyone in your sphere is feeling the love from you and staying connected with you, because even a blind squirrel is gonna trip over a nut. So you may have somebody who's like, they're just somebody in your sphere. They're not, and holy cow, they got a friend that's moving to Houston. Who should I talk to? Oh my gosh, I need to talk to my friend Michael. He's the best. It's all about keeping top of mind in their world. And again, like I mentioned before, they have all their agent friends, liking their stuff, thumbs up, heart, whatever. You're the person that's actually calling. It's like, and it doesn't have to be rocket science. It literally could be I don't know, a meme of I don't know, a rhinoceros butt, and you're like, dude, thought of you. I mean, seriously, it could be just something dumb, or the latest funniest thing you saw on TikTok. You got to check this out. And again, for when I was talking about the kind of the overlapping, one of the most brilliant things that I saw on, there was a guy that was one of our coaching calls out of California. He interviews local businesses there, like the new sandwich shop, the new bar, whatever it is, and he interviews the owner. One of the things that I don't particularly care about Facebook, and this is just my personal opinion, is the whole narcissism of it. I'm so fabulous, I got the shoes, I got the purse, I'm an agent, no, I'm not, I wanna know what's here, right, anyway, wanna know what's here, wanna know what's here. What I loved about that was it wasn't like hogging the spotlight, it was lifting up others in our community, helping promote that business, that person, but guess what? He's still in the room. Real estate is still in the room. And so that to me is just beautiful on so many levels, so many levels. What you can do is when you're calling, texting, email, whatever, you know, whoever that person is in that section, hey, did you get a chance, you know, check out the video I just did on Facebook about this place. They really do have the best sandwich. Oh my God, the bread is amazing. We should all get together. And there's that touch when you're letting them know about it. You're directing them to your Facebook. And then they're getting to see more of your Facebook stuff, more of the stuff that you're talking about, and you're setting up a face-to-face. That to me is perfection, because it is truly genuine. You're helping the community, you're staying top of mind. It's all of it. It's how life should be. It really is. So, what else? On the Facebook stuff, like I was saying, it's gotta be the 70% the personal stuff. You know, only 25% of work. But again, you can kind of cheat a little bit and still have real estate in the room. One of my favorite ones that I saw where this was done really well was a friend of mine. She took a picture of her dash with like literally like seven of these like lined up, and she's like, you know, 7 bottles full of cold water to, you know, in 114-degree weather to show 14 houses, you know, and she got so much engagement that was talking about how freaking hot it was. But real estate was in the room because it was they, you know, she is a prominent agent. She is, you know, she's showing where it's like, I'm showing 14 houses. It was perfect. So there's a lot of ways that you do. I remember, I think there was, so Michael, this is where you need to know your audience. I remember driving down Washington Avenue, and there was a big giant sign for an empty lot, and it says, you know, blah, 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 you know, 35 square feet, blah, blah, 3,500 square feet, 1,000 square feet for this lot, call Tim Conway. And I remember thinking real estate's so good, even Tim Conway's selling real estate. So Tim Conway was an old comedian that used to be on the Carol Burnett show. This is like, that's what I'm like, y'all aren't even gonna know that. No, I'm talking about. But it was like, to me, I'm like, oh, Tim Conway's in real estate. But even he didn't remember who it is. I love Tim Conway.
Tim
Conway, Carol Burnett, Harvey Korman.
Yeah, when you named them, then I'm like, oh yeah.
That's a little ahead of me.
I
Oh,
only
yeah.
recognize Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
That's the only name.
Yeah.
I'm a crypt keeper old.
That's all.
But it's like little things like that. I mean, like I said, don't put too much pressure on yourself till you feel that, oh my gosh, this is, you know, I got to come up with something. And now you do have the creepy world of AI. So if you need help, like literally you can put in, give me a list of, you know, tell them what your objective is, and it will give you a freaking list. So, but okay. And this does freak me out because I'm like, oh my God, does no one remember the Terminator? No one remembers Skynet.
Right.
But that's what I named my Wi-Fi years ago when I named it Skynet. But I was at a at a Tom Ferry event, and there was a woman speaking, and she was talking about TikTok and using that, blah, blah, blah. And it when she showed a video, okay, we're watching, because you want to take that, blah, 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 blah. And when she looks at it, she's like, that's not actually me, that's AI. And it was like, oh, it looked like a human being. It looked like her. I'm like, I told my husband, I am never believing anything. Any video, photo, nothing unless I see it with my own eyes, and even then I'll be a little bit
Yeah,
like, okay,
right.
am I real? So,
Yeah, exactly.
but anyway, so in the meantime, before Skynet takes over, use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
You know, use it to put in there and say, okay, I need a list of ideas for, you know, for whatever, and you can, and start using that. Because again, it's just about staying in touch. When all this part, when you're reaching out to them, it's nothing about real estate. They're already seeing that with everything that's on the industry centric level of your marketing sandwich, that piece of bread. That's where they're getting the, I'm happy to, never too busy for your referrals. If you have a friend, family member that's looking for a house, needs to sell, I mean, that's where all the asking goes. You don't want that on this level. So that's not to say that you're doing this, doesn't mean you can't make another call. Like if you have a legit, in the middle of one of the touches here, you can call your friend like, dude, you gotta help me out. I got somebody that's looking in your neighborhood. Do you know anybody that's wanting to sell?
Yeah.
That's not a creepy call anymore because you have been touching base with them that whole time.
Right.
So that actually works out really, really well. What else? Do you have any questions on this?
Not really. There is a message in the chat.
Oh, there's a message. in the chat.
Something.
Or can Shay read it for us?
Yeah. That's good.
So who?
Can Shay read the message? In the
Yeah, she
chat.
probably, can Shay read it in the chat?
It's not letting me look at the chat for some reason. Show chat previews.
Do we have any
yes.
questions in the
Yes, there's a
Um,
question. It says, oh, it's not a question. It's just thank you for your time. And all sounds really real estate smart way to be and keep people around you.
Yeah.
That's
So,
really cool.
Shay, I think I've sent this, all the attachments to you before. Do you need me to send them again to send it to everybody?
Let me verify that I still have it. Give me one moment.
Okay. But if anybody has any questions, or you need me to walk you through a clarifying thing, just call me. Call or text is the best way to get a hold of me. I'm either in front of a person or I'm in front of my steering wheel, my way to be in front of another person. So if you send me an email, shoot me a text and say, hey, I've sent you an email. So I'll know to look for it.
Tell them what's special about Fidelity. Why don't you use Fidelity site?
It's amazing. So Fidelity National Title, and I can say this because I'm saying this from the real estate side of it. Like one of my, escrow officers, they're all amazing, but it's the experience that I was telling her. There was a situation that we had where she caught something like that had not happened, could possibly happen in the future. And I told her, that's what makes you an exceptional escrow officer, not just a great one, but an exceptional one that she could see. And they're all like that. So Fidelity National Title we are the largest title company in the nation. If you Google largest title company, you'll see First American, Chicago, Fidelity National Title. We own Chicago, which means we touch 2 out of 3 transactions that happen across the states. One of the most important things as well is sustainability and our resources. It's $2.7 billion in reserves. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Well, and here's the thing. I don't want one of my clients to their policy's now worthless because someone got a bad claim. And it's done that to some mom and pops. It'll wipe them out.
Yeah.
It'll wipe them out. So strength, I think because we own Chicago, it makes us officially the oldest title company.
Mm.
Do y'all know how title insurance started?
I think in a gold rush days, people jumping claims.
It was Chicago Title was the first title company. It was because of the Great Chicago Fire,
Mm.
where the courthouse burned down with all the deeds, everything.
Oh, wow.
And that's why it started. It's like, okay, you know, catastrophes happen. There needs to be a solution for that, and that was title insurance. So that's how it started. Now with Fidelity National Titles, like I said, we're across the nation, with the exception of any state that is an attorney state. There's some states like New York, Louisiana, they're attorney states. We specialize in freaking everything, commercial, residential. We're extremely investor centric. That's key. If you're working with investors, you can't just go to any run-of-the-mill title company, you know, or escrow officer that doesn't have experience with that and be like, okay, this is an assignment of what? You know, or this is a sub 2, or we're in subs, you know, sandwiches, what's going on? You have to work with companies that actually do know what that is. I've heard horror stories, especially in investor deals, where you have an assignment where they have disclosed, they have sent numbers to everybody. It's like, nope, everything has supposed to stay separate, absolutely stay separate, because that can blow up a deal.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, it is key to work with that. The commercial side, we actually have a national commercial division. They did all of the refis for Taco Bell across the country. There's a lot of Taco Bells. And even in my office, we work, you know, retail shopping centers, you know, multi-units, fourplexes. That's another thing I want to talk about. So you have your sphere, right? One of the things that happened in 2022 was when rates started going up, and literally every traditional residential real estate agent just went flat. And these were agents that had been around for a long time and had always been successful. And these are my friends are like, oh, yeah, like nobody wants to sell, nobody wants to buy. It's bad. And it occurred to me, so I teach real estate investing. I've done that for a long time, and I always taught to people who want to invest. But it occurred to me, as an agent, why wouldn't you be talking to your sphere about this? It actually raises the opinion and the perspective of that client to you. You are no longer just a real estate agent. You are now someone who can advise me on building a portfolio that will give me positive cash flow in my retirement. You are going to help me with that. One of the things that's so key about that, what also happened in 2022, is the stock market crashed. Okay. A lot of people think, well, that happens all the time. It does. But here's the thing. In 2022, and I know this because I was married to my ex-husband for a very long time. 1957 was the highest birth rate ever recorded in US history, which means you had the highest number of people turning 65 in 2022, which is when they were eligible to retire. And the one thing they could not touch to retire was their 401k. So the reason you can't touch it is, you can, but it's financial suicide. It's called the negative sequence of returns. If you start pulling, if you start drawing on an asset account, that's what that is, you're selling more shares to get the same amount of money, which means you're depleting that account faster. It is mathematically impossible to recover, and the average is 10 years that you'll run out of money. If you were pulling out what you had planned to pull out, whatever percentage it was. This happened to this is what was happening with my ex-husband, and we're still very good friends. We've got kids, but I called him in June. It's like, when are you supposed to start drawing? And he's like, next month. And I'm like, you can't. He's like, I know, what do I want to do? And I'm like, I will pay you out of my paycheck. This is, and not to be magnanimous, I know if I needed help, he would help me. But as I will pay you out of my paycheck, you have to promise not to draw. And so I would rather help you now while I'm still working than have to help you when we're both retired. Or worse, and I didn't say this because I don't want to make him feel bad. I didn't want him to become a financial liability on the kids when he ran out of money in 10 years.
Yeah.
That happens. I have friends who say, I'm helping my mom because she ran out of money. I'm helping my dad because he ran out of money. And and I knew this intellectually, but it finally like smacked me in the forehead. I told my husband, I was like, oh, what am I doing? You know, because all of my investments had always been like development investments, like you put in money, you get money out over a certain amount of time, but I never held on to the asset. And it's like, it made me realize I gotta freaking hold on to the asset. I gotta create a portfolio where you have an asset that's generating income, you know, forever, hopefully. There are huge tax benefits on that as well. I never ever in a million years ever thought I would get all hot and bothered over a tax book, but I did. It's called Tax-Free Wealth. That's what you have it. It's amazing. I had it on Audible, and then I bought the book so I could highlight it, but I couldn't wait to get in my car to listen to it. That's never in a million years. I would have told you were lying through your teeth if you said that was gonna happen. But that can help. I mean, it's for you to be that kind of a resource to your clients, to tell them, build your portfolio, read this book, find a tax advisor that specializes in this. Because remember the golden rule, don't be the source, be the source of the source. That can be a booming part of your business. The reason I say that this is so important because it's crucial that you diversify your business. You want your residential real estate, you want your investor real estate as well. Because that way you have a client no matter what the market is doing. Always do that. If you want to go into commercial, please, for the love of God, get a mentor. Do not go out there and try to do it on your own. You will have spent a lot of time building up your reputation as a residential real estate agent to make one mistake and it will nullify anything you've done before, because now it's like, especially when you make a mistake with somebody else's money. So just commercial is a completely different animal. Make sure you have a mentor if that's what you want to do. If you want to stay in your lane and just do the residential and the residential investment stuff, that's perfectly fine. You can do that. So, but if you ever have any questions on the investor side as well, just let me know. Right, so I will geek out to real estate with you.
Can you share your information?
Yeah, I've got my card. I'll give you my card. And do me a favor, if y'all can text me your information, full name and email. And I'm also going to share with y'all, I'm going to send y'all a link to a free app. It's to calculate closing costs for your buyers and net sheets for your sellers. Best app on the freaking planet.
So the book was Tax-Free Wealth?
Yeah, Tax-Free Wealth. It's by Tom Wheelwright, CPA.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. And so you're in the perfect position, you know, all the tax incentives and the tax breaks that are part of the tax code, they unfortunately don't apply to W-2s. You know, that's really not where it is. That whole incentive is for business owners. And that's what y'all are. That is what y'all are. And I had a friend of mine, she was talking about a certain CPA that she went to that did specialize in that. He saved her like 30 grand in taxes a year just by how she set up her business and how she started being taxed instead of it just going straight to her as income. she's like, oh my God, changed our lives. So it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep, right?
Somebody asked in the chat, can you put your information in the chat?
Oh, yeah, let's see. It's not, no, there it is. Now it's up. I'm screaming at everybody.
No, you're not screaming at all.
I'm getting ahead of. There we go. So. Shay, do you want me to show Fidelity Agent real quick since we have some time?
Did you want to show which one?
The Fidelity Agent, the link I'm gonna send them. For the
Yeah, go
app.
ahead. Absolutely, go ahead.
Let me pull it up. This is the best thing ever. And seriously, when they first developed this, I'm like, why didn't you have this when I was practicing? And they're like, "It made my life so much easier." So the key with this is, they had a really funny meme on it one time that said, I went into real estate because I love math, said no one ever. It was really funny. So on your buyers. So if you've got somebody in front of you that you want to do a calculation for, that's great. That's perfect. But leverage this when you're, how many of y'all are doing open houses?
Yeah.
Awesome. So while you're there, and you're talking to that buyer, and everybody is so, I guess, they're making up fake names on the sign-in sheet, you know what I'm talking about, like, nothing's real. I remember, granted, this was a long time ago, doing one, and the couple walked in, and literally the guy's like telling his wife, don't make eye contact. Like, what am I gonna do? So, but nobody likes being sold. They feel that if you get my information, you're gonna dog me to death, but if we come to them from a place of service and as a resource, that's a whole different thing. So when you're talking to someone coming into an open house, you can ask them, do you have any idea what you're gonna be bringing to closing, when you find a home? They're, yeah, maybe not, maybe, would you like to know? I can send you those numbers now, just to give, so you have a ballpark idea. Absolutely, that'd be great. So on here, and you can text this to them, you can email them. So when you text it to them, you now have their real cell number. You email it to them, and you now have their real email. So anybody, I have an address here I can put in, let me.
Yes,
Go ahead.
3224 McGowan 77004.
Perfect, okay. So on here, it even pulls up what the taxes are. This is what I love about this. So the amazing thing about this app is that a lot of times, a lot of agents, it used to be that they did not want to put anything in writing because they're so afraid they're going to do something wrong and they're going to put misinformation on here. This does everything for you short of wipe your notes. It is, so the only information you're putting in is the things that that are like the difference makers in a contract, like those terms. Everything else is in here. So you can tell them, so you're doing an open house on Gowan. You can leave it as conventional, but they do FHA, VA, you can do cash. We'll leave it there. You're gonna put in a purchase price. What do you?
799.
Okay. All right, put in purchase price. Here you can put in the down payment as a percentage or a flat amount. So if it's just two numbers, it's automatically going to default to a percentage. If I go 3 digits, it's going to change it to a dollar amount. So we can leave it, leave it at 10, we can move it to 20. So they won't have PMI. So when you're talking to them, and they're, you can ask them, so have you talked to a lender? Because you want to vet them for you. Oh, yeah, I'll talk to them. Like, okay, great. So what interest rate has he quoted you? So then, he hasn't talked to a lender, and that's when you pull out the business card of the lender that you trust that will get you to closing. For you newbies, I'm gonna tell y'all, your team that you're putting together, that's where you're gonna shine. That's really important. So your team is title, it is insurance, it is inspector, and it is lender. Lender is going to be the most important partner that you have, truly. Be careful when you're choosing your team, especially with the lenders. Someone who buys you a drink, someone who buys you lunch, that is not showing that they're truly a good partner. It's the guy that's going to answer your phone on a Saturday or a Sunday who gets you to closing. It's kind of like prom night. Lenders will say anything, but they're not answering your call on a Sunday.
What does that mean, Chantal?
I'm saying choose wisely, choose wisely. So in the event that they have not talked to a lender, and so basically I'd be sitting there going, what are the interest rates today? I'm like, oh my gosh, this pulls from the national average. So again, there is no guesswork on your part. So the national average, 7.125, 30 years, you can change that as well if necessary. Miscellaneous, this is where you add or subtract from their closing costs. So say they're going to tell you, hey, I'm going to need help with closing costs. I'm going to need $3,000. You can put that in here so it's already factored in, okay? I'm not going to change anything here, so I'm going to leave it. Hazard insurance, this is your homeowner's insurance. You're at an open house. It's like, I have no idea. And am I going to call an insurance agent? No, this again is pulling from the national average. So you don't have to worry about that. So again, your taxes are here. You can put it in as a tax rate if you want, but this is pulling with the, what they actually paid in a dollar amount. You can put in your HOA annual or monthly here, put in your closing date, hit compute. Don't bail me down.
Yes, thank you.
And here you go. So on this, why is their monthly payment so high? So, I mean, that's what it is, monthly payment. Yeah, $800,000 house, yeah. It is.
7% interest.
Yeah, 7%. So that's another thing that I wanted to talk to you about. So make sure. Y'all heard the phrase marry the price, date the rate? Y'all familiar with that? Do you understand what that means? So what that means is people are having, they're hesitant right now because rates are higher, right? Rates change.
Yeah.
So do prices. What happens when rates go down? The demand for the properties increase because everybody's out there buying. That means you have less availability, but more importantly, price goes up. So that's why in 2020 and 2021, you were having people paying, I don't want to say overpaying for a house. They were paying a premium to buy in that market. That means they were bringing more to closing, more to purchase that house than what the house would appraise for. So you can talk to your clients and say, okay, in all honesty, the rates right now, that's normal. It is normal. We saw an anomaly. We will never see that again. I mean, hopefully we will be able to see a 4 again, maybe. We are surely not seeing 2s or 3s again. I mean, it was truly an anomaly. So the point is, though, explain to your clients that the rates are higher right now, but you're buying the house at this price. You wait a year, that house has this value to it. That's also something I talk to about with investors. Investors, it is hard to make a property cash flow with rates being higher, but it does set them up for an equity play. What I mean by that is, buy a house now, my rates are here, okay? In a few years, rates go down to here, the value goes up, which means I can refi and I can do an equity cash out and it be tax-free. If I sold, I have to pay capital gains and I no longer have the asset. And this actually happened, could happen to a nicer guy, a man named Jerry. He in 2016 2015, 2016 bought 8 properties. His interest rate was 6.5 on all 8. Fast forward to 2021, he refied on all of them. His rate went to 3.5. The value of them all went up. He cashed out, and before I say that, his cash flow stayed the same and got better on one of them. He did an equity draw out of all of them. After closing costs, he netted $1 million tax-free.
Wow.
Nice.
Tax-free because it's associated as part of the loan. If he had sold those properties, he would have been paying capital gains on all. So it's just something to consider. So again, back to this, your monthly payment, you're bringing to close, and I'm going to show you this. This is what's amazing. It breaks down everything for them. So you've got your the prepaids for the insurance. It has all the monthly information, has all their closing costs, tells them what they are bringing to closing. Now, this is a free app. Make sure when you download it, and I'm gonna send you a link, so it should go directly into my name, but if you're getting this without my link, make sure you choose Galleria and make sure you choose my name. Because of RESPA, it does have to expire every few months. And then basically you can text me and I can go in and do it. If my name isn't on it, I can't go in and renew it for you. Now, you can get the premium account for a whole $10 a year. If you cannot invest $10 in your business, for a whole year, we have other problems we need to talk about. We need to talk about. Yeah. So, but the key is that with the premium account, you get additional features on here, and I'll show them to you. But you can brand it to yourself. You put your headshot in, your all your contact information, your company logo. It makes you look insanely professional. It is just crisp and clean. One of the really cool things about this too is I can put it into any one of these languages. Spanish, German. I actually was able to do it in Polish once. I was meeting these folks at their home, notarizing their T-47 for their agent, and they got an offer in while I was there, and I'm like, oh, let's look at the offer. And I did this for them. They were Polish, switched everything into, and they said everything was spelled right. So it's great. I will say that, okay, Houston we live in a beautiful multicultural, city. The person that you're speaking to may speak perfect English, but in a lot of different cultures, they're not the only decision makers. It's their parents, it's their in-laws, it's the grandparents, whatever, the uncle, the dog, everybody. You can give it to them in English, but you can also give it to them in their native language so that they can share it with other people in their family. It's just, I think, a very respectful, professional nod to, and it shows that you're a global professional, that you work with everybody. So, let me go back. Let's see here. I do want to show you this one right there. So sometimes you have buyer and seller that will go toe to toe over like $1,000.
Yeah.
And it really does come down to, we're being recorded here. So, I'm gonna move the increments here. So we'll do it to 1,000. monthly, let's see. Do the monthly payment difference. We can show that. No, I'm just gonna keep it simple and just show increasing. And you can put it into a beautiful flyer. Okay, so you got to be careful how you're talking to your buyers on this, because you don't want it to be like, well, who do you work for? You work for me or for the seller? You don't want that, but you do want to put things into perspective. So say that they're head to toe, they're toe to toe on $2,000. And, buyers like, I want him to come down $2,000, blah, 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 blah. And you can find out through public records how much that, get a good idea of what the seller's gonna net. What if the seller's in a situation where he's only netting 10 grand after paying for everything else? And it's like, Mr. Buyer, you're asking him to take off 20% of what he's netting, like off like a Band-Aid. For you, it's $12 a month. So, and Mr. Buyer, you've already invested, all this on inspections, almost $1,000 on doing your due diligence on this house that you love. Otherwise, you wouldn't be making an offer on it. Do you really want to if you want to walk away with $12, I will absolutely do that for you. But when you put it into that perspective, there may be like, okay, it's just, it's like if you get to a point where they're not budging, I would look at this. Okay, so we'll get over to the seller side real quick. I'll do this before we run out of time. So we'll do the same address. What was that again? 3224. I'm sorry.
3224.
3224. There we go. Okay, so on this one, we're gonna leave it as conventional as well. And you said $7.99, right?
Yes.
Okay. So $7.99. Okay, now, when you're doing on the seller side, you can say that,
30%.
well, it says 6%. As a listing agent, you're charging 6 or 10 or 4 or whatever it is that you're gonna charge, right? Because we're not standard. Make sure we say that. So say in this instance, you are only gonna charge 5%, but you've told your seller 3% is gonna go to the buying agent, I'm only gonna take 2, right? You wanna make sure that you make that difference here, because otherwise it is just going to take the 5% and split it evenly. And people are weird. You can tell, okay, 3% is going to go to the other side. I'm going to keep 2, and then they see 2.5. Oh my gosh, you said those. I'm like, oh, it's a typo. Let me fix that real quick. No, but people, they grab on this stuff because they're so. I will say this. Attitude like that, where they're like, they're just very tense. People getting squirrely, getting cold feet, getting angry, it all comes from fear. And it's fear of the unknown. And I feel it's our job as real estate professionals to manage those expectations up front and let them know it's like this, the last words out of your mouth every time you talk to somebody should be, this is what you can expect next. This is what's going to happen next. So that way they always feel they're prepared. They know what the next step is. They know what to expect. That will just pave the way for you incredibly.
Does this either do y'all have like some type of like a timeline that you give your clients from like beginning to end?
I have one that says like the escrow process. This is, yeah, I've got something like
Can I
that.
get
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Thank you.
Let me make a note.
I think I have one, but I've been having to look for it lately. I used to always have one on hand.
Yeah, I've got a flow chart. But I'll have to find
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Thank you.
Well, I have your send deliver on, but I'm gonna send it to everybody.
Okay.
I'll send it to Shay.
And so then, your information will be on there, right?
Yes.
Like at the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then I guess I could put mine on there? Is it possible? If not, it's okay.
Yeah.
'Cause it'll
let
come from me when I'm
Let me
sending it
see if I
out.
can send it to you where it's editable.
Oh,
Yeah.
and if not, that's fine, because,
We'll
they'll
figure it
know.
out.
Okay.
Okay. So repairs, never put anything in repair. Miscellaneous, it's the same thing. You can either add or subtract from their closing costs. And one of the things you'll probably, no, not anymore. No. Property taxes are shown here. This is showing their loan balance. So that's when I was saying you can find out their loan balance. You can run this on, like if you've got the buyer, still run it on the seller side and you'll pull up what they can, what they should be paying or what should be paying off. And I've done that before where I don't always, as an investor, I don't always trust that the other side understands what the terms in the contract mean. So I have submitted an offer before with this on it saying, for what I'm offering you and what I'm willing to pay for, this is what your net is. So that's something to look at. So, put in your closing date, hit compute.
What is the loan balance?
That's how much they owe on the house.
Oh.
Yeah, so now this is pulling from the county records of what the deed of trust says.
Oh, so that's like actual, like
Yeah.
for that, oh.
Yeah, so this is what, and it's doing a straight up amortization. So if that seller has made additional payments to principal, this is not gonna calculate this because the county has no way of knowing, the system has no way of knowing.
So,
Happened.
so
Yeah.
the seller's interest rate is for the.
4.25, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's for their existing deed of trust.
Shown for the top.
Now, this is what they, this is what they'll
Actual
get,
information for the house.
yeah.
So that's what she'll get if she sells.
Yeah. And what's even better, if they were escrowing their taxes, this is gonna show them what they're gonna get back on taxes if they close on that date. Yeah, so, this thing, it's absolutely amazing. So let me show you. Let me show you something else real quick. Okay, so on here, under options, you can, and what I love about this program is that you can edit everything. And just make sure if you're changing any of the numbers, only you'll have a choice where it says for this estimate only. You want to make sure it's only for that estimate, because if you change something and you click the other, it's going to be on every transaction. So on here, like say your seller doesn't want to do a home warranty, you can take it out, just edit it out here. Say the say the buyer's gonna pay for the title policy, you can choose it here, you can X out the home warranty. It's completely malleable, which I love. Now, let me show you. So say you got a seller that's completely, unreasonable and says, I want this sales price, even though they're way overpriced, and they're like, I don't care, I want that, I'll hold out until I get that sales price. This is what you show them, which I love. So the one thing you don't get credited for are taxes, insurance, and interest. That's what eats away at their net. So if they're overpriced and they've been on the market for 90 days, they basically just gave away $5,000 of their net. And in 20 days, they gave away almost $7,000 of their net. So it's one thing people get all, I'm like, I want to price it for what it's worth and lie to your neighbors like everybody else does. So, but it's, you can tell them that, and it's abstract. Once you put their numbers in it and they see the numbers that they're actually giving up by not pricing it accordingly, that's when you'll get, oh, okay, I get it. I get it. In the event that you have the wonderful problem of multiple offers, so say this is the first offer. I'm gonna probably stick in the same numbers just so you can see, I'll just stick in any number. And I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna add another offer. What was it? And I'm just sticking in numbers, okay? This is beautiful. Instead of walking in like, bam, 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 I brought you 3 contracts, which is just overwhelming because you got stacks. You can show them this, still do the bam, bam, bam if you want, but you can tell them this is what your bottom line is. I've taken all the contracts, put in all the, all the financials in it, and your bottom line is coming here somewhere, sometime soon. So while that's pulling up, some of the other calculators that are on here, which I think are very, very helpful, is the affordability, monthly affordability. People don't live in sales prices, they live in monthly payments. And so you've got a buyer that says, look, it's got to be at 2,200. You can put in 2,200 as their monthly payment. You put in the area that they're looking for, the taxes on it, and it'll tell you what their buying power is. And that's something to be very careful about. If numbers are tight, don't put them somewhere that has mud taxes. Their taxes are going to be, it's that'll make or break a deal sometimes. Insurance as well. Like if things are really tight, don't look at a floodplain. That, adding flood insurance to a property that's in a floodplain, that's been designated a floodplain, can kill you. Crime. I have one of my insurance person that I work with, she's an investor as well. We have a lot of the same clients. She's like, as far as well, really for anything, but she's like, don't even look and go in the park. She's like, the crime has gotten so bad that insurance has skyrocketed. This is not pretty at all. Let's see if I can pull up calculators while that's doing. Okay, so here's the monthly affordability. Like basically, we're going to do conventional desired payment. We'll say it's 2,200. Interest rates. There's taxes. They compute. There's your buying power, 237. If they put more down, say they go to 20, their buying power is now 266. So love this, and you could send it to them. So you could use this at a open house as well. And honestly, I tell you, the seller, I had an agent call me. He's like, I wanted you to know I clinched a listing because of that. He actually got the listing because I was able to give them real numbers. Let's see if this one is coming up again. Come on. Didn't do it at all. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see if we can get it now. There's also a calculator for your equity. So if you're doing mailers, that's something that can go on a card. One of the top agents in the area that I live in, it's funny because she came to, I know she was at the Tom Ferry event as well. And he talked about the equity calculator on this. And sure enough, guess what I got in the mail? It was her card talking about, finding out the equity in your house. And all it was, do you want to know what it is? Call me. And it just opens up that conversation. It's a real, opens it up for a real touch, not just the mailer. For some reason that one's not the bummer because it's a really nice one. Well done. Let me see if I can get it on this.
And this is with the premium version.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a whole $10. There is a cell to net. I'm not a fan of that, and that's what I was taught when I was a brand new agent, 20 some odd years ago. It's not a great way to start out with a seller, because a seller gets that number in mind. I'm walking away with this. It ain't over till it's over. And there's a whole lot of different factors that come in. It's far better to approach it for, this is what is going on in the market. This is what the market will bear. This is what, what is sold. And this is what the competition is at. Because at the end of the day, truly, I mean, it's, I as a buyer do not want to overpay for a house. I'm gonna stick to the appraisal, I mean, I helped my son buy a house in 2021 and he was using his VA and I would not let him pay over it, like. And I think we're right on time.
Right on time.
So, and I can, and if you're working on this, play with it a little bit, but if you need help, I can walk you through.
Thank you, Chantal.
Thank you. Thank you, Chantal.
And you're gonna send us the link?
Yes, yeah. So if you text me your, just text me and tell me, they'll need it.
Okay, so thank you, Chantal. Any questions? You're taking us right into our group coaching that we do at 2:00.
Yay.
So look at
I'm
it,
gonna
all
get
kind of
it
work
now.
there. Any other questions before I let Chantal go?
Thank y'all very, very much.
Thank you for coming, Chantal, and thank you for lunch as well.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. Okay, so if for you all that are on now, and if you're coming to group coaching, stay on. Got some good stuff for you. If not, we'll see y'all. We have another lunch training tomorrow. It's gonna be talking about data mining. So you guys come in, get you some good eating. We had some good eating in here, huh, y'all? Yeah, we had some good eating here today. But yeah, so we'll talk to y'all soon. Let's see, Kate, you stay on. Sharita, you good? Jess, we'll see you. Kate, just stay on, Kate.
All right,
Oh, Sharita, stay on too. Sharita, stay on.
okay.
Tuesday and
2.
I got 3.
Oh, is it 3?
Can you do 3?
Yeah.
All right, well, can you meet with LaQuana?
Okay.
Me and LaQuana at 3?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, no, not tomorrow.
No, it's Thursday, no?
Today, yeah, tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's
See you
see.
tomorrow.
All right. See you.
Bye, thank you.
Don't forget to send me the address.
Chantal, hold on, I'll be back. I'm gonna walk Chantal out.
Oh, you're fine. It's gonna take me a minute to pick up. Give me a second. Yeah. You're fine.
Hey, y'all get y'all some more
Yes,
sandwiches. I didn't, anybody want a sandwich? Y'all want a sandwich? Y'all eating? I'm gonna take it home.
Here, this is what she sent me.
Y'all meeting the people y'all doing votes for. Is it a lazy? I don't know, I call it a lazy. And she didn't correct me. It might be a lazy, I might need to find out for her. So I'm not calling her the wrong name, Chantal.
Oh, wasn't too hard.
No, you
I got it.
you were nicer than I thought you were gonna be. I want you to lay the hammer.
Okay, bye.
I've been
Bye,
called nobody
baby.
over.
Good evening.
All right, see you later.
I like
See you
the
tomorrow.
information.
You like her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did you, so I know you're working with an investor that's looking for units. Did you tell them about
Yes, we have to go and see
the
the
property?
properties.
Okay.
But my husband had a meeting with Austin last weekend, so we didn't have time. But next weekend, we will be.
Okay, but what about the one that you went,
That's why I asked for your information.
but what about the one that yesterday that y'all saw? You think that's something they might like? Those 6 units?
It may, but he requested me or specifies me that it needs to be on the heights.
Oh, heights. I
That's what his main request.
want to be in the heights.
Mhm.
Okay.
¿Quieren nueva construcción?
Mhm.
Tengo eso.
Oh, Call you later.
Alright. Y'all don't be
So,
talking in Spanish
but
like y'all don't, I can speak a little Spanish. I know what y'all said,
Maybe she. But you know.
but I know, all right,
I don't hide anything.
that's okay, that's all good, okay.
Yeah, but I will contact Margaret as soon as he and my husband decide which one.
Gotcha.
Because he needs to talk to the engineer and see what they
The
can do
plan?
there. Mhm.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay,
But we are in touch.
good stuff, man. I'll see you, Mary Lou, see you tomorrow. Mm-hmm,
Same time.
same time.
Bye. Bye, Margaret.
All right, let's see who's on here. Erica, Aspen, how y'all doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you today?
Amazing, amazing.
Great,
Here, let me,
great.
let me finish up with, y'all don't go nowhere, but I'm gonna talk to Sharita and Kate like 5 minutes and then they're gonna hop off.
All right, no problem.
Okay. Kate, you wanna give me an update on, what you're working on?
So yeah, I finished modifying Margaret's lead tracker in the Wise agent, and
Okay,
also I've researched on how to add or change the name of the inside team in the Wise agent. So I'll just um put the link on the instructions before
okay.
I'll go with it. Then I've already sent the cash leads text and set schedule text, and as well as the group coaching message earlier.
Sharita,
And
Kate, did you go out?
yeah,
I can't hear you no more.
no, I'm here. I'm still here.
Okay,
Hello.
yeah, I couldn't hear you. What was the last thing you said?
So I already sent the cash leads text, set schedule text, and as well as the group coaching message to the group me and email earlier. And for the now
Okay.
site landing page, it's already done. It has already an option for the English version and the Spanish, and
Oh,
also my social media content.
show it to me. Show me your screen.
All right. The now
Hold
site.
on. Yeah.
Okay.
Sharita, how long you think it's gonna take for you to design your social media posts?
Just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, because I've started it
Okay.
already.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So
Go
here's
to
the
the preview.
preview.
Uh-huh. Margaret, come see.
Yes.
So here's
All
the
right,
English version, and here's
right
the
here.
Spanish version.
Do the English. Do the English version.
Cool.
Here's the English version.
Nice.
Hey, that's amazing. Margo here tripping.
I'm trying to get somewhere.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Good job, Kate.
Yeah, but it has help from the support. So thanks for them.
No, that's amazing. I mean, I thought it was gonna be a whole lot more difficult than that, but man, they pulled that thing out. So now we can we're working on a Hispanic, Mary Lou. Come here, Mary Lou. Mary Lou helped us, she helped us translate the pre-home buyer sales slide. Look, come over here. All right, go ahead and show her. So that's the English version. So when people go to that flyer that you translated, So this is where the landing page that it takes them to, and we were talking about having to translate the landing page.
Mhm.
So Kate, she worked on it. All right, so that's the English version. Show us the Spanish version. Let me click on that. That's not a good translation.
Mm-mm.
What does it say?
Acontecimiento is like not a good word for that.
It's not, what does it say?
No,
What does it explain though? Like, I mean, even though it's not ideal,
it's not ideal.
but does it explain enough?
Explains. Can you go to the
Go
English
to the
version
English version again, Kate.
so I can compare the words? Event is one thing,
Mhm.
and acontecimiento doesn't mean
Event,
event.
what does it mean?
Something different, like something that just happened somewhere, like past in the history.
An instance?
No, like already passed in the
So what,
story, like a long
what
time.
word should they use?
Evento.
Invento. All right,
Evento.
Kate, can we get them to change that word? Go back to,
It can be, ve el siguiente video para que el director general le explique por qué es tan importante este evento. Ajá.
So just that one word.
It's not just that word, it's like all the sentence is like too long for that, but it can work.
But it can work
Yeah,
as
it
long as we
can-
change that one word.
Yeah.
All right, so Kate, can you get with them to see, here, scroll down, see if there's anything else.
Sesión previa, compra de vivienda. Le preparamos y
That works. All right, keep going.
reserva su plaza. No, not plaza. Lugar.
Place, lugar.
Ujú.
All right, so Kate,
Mm-hmm.
Plaza is
are you taking note? I need you to go back to the chat and get them to change some of the words on the translation.
All right. So what would be the
So right here where it
The-
says reserve plaza, it needs to say lugar.
reserve supplies?
plaza is
Okay.
like
Like scroll up,
place to
like
come
congregate.
enter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, and then right and where it says este acontecimiento, the last line of that, it needs to
All
say
right.
este evento.
Este evento.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay, scroll down.
Para que el proceso de compra de una vivienda se desarrolle con éxito. Lo primero es informarse. Ujú.
That works. Okay,
Mhm.
go down. Go down, Kate. Right there, we would change it, reserves su lugar,
Mhm.
Okay.
and right there too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. This is like addiction, like you have an addiction to drink.
They're trying to say,
beers or
they're trying to say accident.
Tus finanzas soportar. Let me find a word for that.
So like a car wreck.
No, which one?
No word for accident?
No.
So what y'all say, like crash? The word for crash?
It's because the meaning is not the same thing
Okay,
in Spanish, that it doesn't,
so
in
what,
English you can say that, but in Spanish
can't say
it
that.
doesn't make sense.
So what do you say if two cars running each other? What do y'all say?
It is an accident, it is a choque,
A choking?
but it doesn't make sense.
Why?
Pueden tus finanzas
Because this
soportar
video
un
is gonna be a
choque
video, it's gonna be a video of an accident. We just haven't changed it
de
yet.
una hipoteca. You can say accident.
Right there, accident. All right, so Kate,
Pueden tus finanzas soportar
el
accidente
accidente.
de una I.
You hear that, Kate?
All right, the la addition,
Yes, needs to be accidente.
Accidente.
L, L accident is in AKSIDENTE.
No.
ACCIDENTE.
Yeah.
ACCIDENTE.
I.
Okay.
Okay, hold on real quick. Don't scroll up a little bit. No, the other way. Go up a little bit more. All right, stop. Go down, go down, go down, go down. Go down, go down. The other way. The other way, the other way, the other way, the other way, the other way. Some more. Some more. Stop. Okay, now go some more. Go the other way. All right, what about that? All right, so she's reading it. Hold on.
Antes de asistir a la sesión de precomprador de vivienda, prueba de choque de su situación financiera actual. No, something doesn't make sense there.
What's it saying? What's the translation?
Antes de asistir, it says before you assist to the pre-session, try the crash situation, financial situation, or your actual financial situation by making click in the bottom right. That's what you want to say.
Here, click on the English one. It's right there. You don't have to scroll. No, it's right there. Yeah,
Before
that's what we're trying to say.
shock test your current financial situation. You can say now go to Spanish version. You can only say, antes de asistir a la sesión de precompradores de vivienda, revisa tu situación financiera actual haciendo clic en el botón de abajo.
So we need to change
Prueba de choque.
Change that to what?
Prueba de choque. It doesn't make sense there.
So change that to what? So change it.
I forgot what I said.
Reserva. Did you say reserva?
No.
Review.
I forget the word. Revisa.
Revisa. Okay, so we're gonna change prueba de choca to revisa. Spell it.
Sorry, this
Revisa.
one?
The whole thing. The prueba de choca. De.
Prueba
So
de
prueba de choca de.
choca.
That whole, all four of them, all four words.
Prueba
Prueba
de
de
choca.
choca de.
What would be
Revisa is
B
R-E-V-I-S.
S
F
A. And that's R-E-V as in Victor.
Yes.
Okay. I-S-A.
Revisa you can say su or tu. All depends on you.
We'll just leave it Sue. Keep it more formal. Okay, and then that's it.
Y completa.
Okay, so where it says completar
complete.
on the left,
This
yeah,
one.
right there. We're gonna change that to completa. So just take the R off.
Yeah.
So just take the R off.
Okay, completa.
Solicitud de préstamo completa. Can you go to the English version to see what it?
Click on the English version again, Kate.
Oh, it's gone.
There you go.
Is up here?
Yeah.
Full
Go up, yeah, right there.
loan application. You can say just aplicación de préstamo. Ignore full because it doesn't
Okay.
work.
So go back to Kate.
Okay.
Okay, so instead of saying solicitud de préstamo completa,
You can say just solicitud de préstamo. That's it.
all right, we're just gonna say solicitud de préstamo. We just need to remove completa.
In here.
Yeah, right, yeah,
Okay.
just remove the last completa.
Préstamo. All right.
All right, scroll down some more.
That is fine.
That's fine. All right, scroll down.
Para conectarte con that is okay.
Mhm.
No puede existir una sesión previa a la compra de vivienda. Yeah. That is
Yeah, scroll down.
Wait a minute, can you scroll up, please?
Okay.
Right there. Can you go to English version? I need to make sure this is the right.
Okay,
You cannot attend. Yeah, it's okay.
it's okay, it's okay. All right, go down.
Danos una forma de contactar contigo. Danos. Go to English version and I need to see the word you used there. Give us a way to contact you. Oh, that because you use give us. Okay, go back to Spanish.
Oh, danos, I see what you're saying. So it should just take out nos.
No. It works with
It works.
Mhm.
Okay, and I'll go click aquí.
But wait. Una forma de contactarte en
T.
delete contigo.
Okay, so you're gonna delete, we're gonna take out contigo. And we're just gonna change contactar to contactarte. T-E.
A ti, yes.
Add T-E to the back of it.
Contact. Contactar.
Contactar
E.
and then add T-E. No, just add a T-E after contactar. So contactar T-E after that. So the word is contactarte.
Okay. And remove the contigo.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that is fine.
And that's fine. Okay.
Is that it?
That's it, girl.
Okay.
Thank
okay.
you. All right. No, absolutely.
Bye,
See you
Kate.
tomorrow. Bye, Kate. All right, you can start working on that, Kate, to close your day out.
All right.
All right. Have a good one. And then Sharita, other than social media, what else you have to work on?
Done. I'm done.
Can I
already.
have off now, Michael?
Yes, ma'am. Stop
All right.
sharing.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good day, Kate.
Have a good one too.
All right, Sharita, what else you had to work on?
I'm done already with the social media content. Maybe I can proceed to